doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them.
Hey, let's keep the train rolling. Let's keep the trend rolling. If you've been paying attention this week, I've been giving you guys a bunch of names. 5 new names on offense, 5 new names on defense, 5 guys who could potentially make a comeback and make a name for themselves again this year in the European League of Football. Well, now let's talk about 5 guys who I'm looking to see take the next step heading into the European League of Football. So before we get this thing started, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, like the video, share with a friend. It's an interactive podcast. You drop a comment, I reply right back, and we keep the discussions going. So I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a list of 6 guys who I want to see take the next step this season in the ELF. Now, these guys could have, played in the ELF for the first time last year, could have been in the ELF, and could have been building momentum and broke out. But I want to talk about these guys. So one of the first names who I want to bring to the table is someone who's near and dear to my heart, plays for Helvetic. That's right. I am talking about Milan Spiller. Now, this is probably an easy one, but it's hard to follow up a great season when you're a known name now, right? Can Milan Spiller take the next step? He's going to be playing next to a NFL veteran in Keenan Cole, a pretty good quarterback in Isaiah Weed, who's going to be able to deliver the ball to him and efficiently. And we saw somebody literally grow in front of our eyes last year, playing in the ELF, guy who came out of nowhere. In 2024, we're talking about a guy with 63 receptions, 1,008 yards, right, and 5 touchdowns, right? Can he take the next step? He's in the same category, the same space as Juan Flores Calderon, as Robin Vilcek, as Lewis Geyer, but only if he could keep improving heading into this season. All right. You look at guys like Lewis Geyer, first season, 22 receptions, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns. And that was in Stuttgart. Then he goes to Cologne. He has 47 receptions, 687 yards, 9 touchdowns. Now he's playing next to Quentin Pounds. He comes back home, plays for Jordan Newman in the Surge, right? 75 catches, almost 1,000 yards. He gets to 853 and 7 touchdowns. And then last year he breaks out, right? 89 catches, 854 yards, 13 touchdowns. And where is he now? He has an invite to the CFL Combine. So that's a huge step for Milan. Not saying he needs to get to the CFL Combine, but can he continue to make those improvements, right? Robin Vilcek, his first year, he didn't really come to form until late in the season. We're talking about a guy who had only about 25 catches, but 700-something yards, right? And then Juan Flores Calderon, right? Another guy was making a big step, took a little bit of a step back last year due to everything that was going on. Now he's at Madrid. I'm expecting another big step for JFC. So can Milan Spiller encore what was a great first year, now that you're a known name in the ELF, and take the next step? That's a guy who I want to see take the next step, right? Let me give you another guy, Edward Molina. This is a guy that grew on me. I'm not going to lie. He grew on me late in the season. This is a guy who was a counterpart to Dwayne Obi in that Madrid offense. They only burst onto the scene to halfway through the year, but only had 102 carries, 671 yards, and I believe it was 8 touchdowns, right, for Molina? Yeah, 8 touchdowns. So great as a complimentary back, especially someone who wasn't really getting the bulk of it. He did a lot of his work in the screen game, in the pass game, and, coming in on third down. And, I expect kind of like that 1-2 punch with Nico Barrow, they're a little bit more similar in regards to play. Dwayne Obi, a little bit more of a power back, a little more of a downhill runner. Molina and Nico Barrow are going to complement each other well. I don't know if the production-wise will be there, what his impact will be, what his role will be. You got to think, when Andrew was the head coach at Barcelona, their backs didn't have a lot of production, but they didn't really need it because the passing game was hitting. So how is this going to fare out? We'll see. But Edward Molina is a guy I'm looking to see take that next step, despite what his role is, and see what this season is going to look like for him, for the Madrid Bravos. Let me give you another name, Jacob Neugebauer. This guy really came onto the scene once Theo Landstrom went down, once Jarvis McClain went down, and really started to build his name in the European League of Football. Production slim but effective, right? 34 catches, 495 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But he did have the breakout game versus Prague where he had 13 catches, 230 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What does this season look like for him, right? I would say Hamburg is putting together a very balanced receiving group, right? You got Terrion Robinson. You got obviously Jacob Norgenbauer. You got Noah Bamba coming back. You got Jean-Claude coming back. You got Tobias Neal who's coming back. Those are all quality guys, right? And we don't know what this offense is going to look like, but what is Norgenbauer going to look like now that, again, we are familiar with him, right? Now that we see what he could do, what he's capable of, and he was able to prove that he could play in this league. Intriguing. He's an intriguing guy. I'm excited to see how he pans out this year. But Jacob Norgenbauer is another guy I want to keep an eye on, see if he could take the next step. All right. I got to get my DBs involved. And I'm excited to see what this guy is going to look like in a better situation. And I'm talking about Khalid Adisa. Khalid played for Barcelona. That should tell you everything you need to know. Not that his season was necessarily bad, but how Barcelona's season ended. He didn't really get the fair shake, the opportunities to really put on display what he's capable of. Well, now he's going to. He's playing with the Nordic Storm, a franchise that looks like they're in great ownership and great stability. And he's surrounded by a lot of guys with a lot of versatility. You talk about Chad Wallerin. You talk about Luke Glenna. You talk about Xavier Edwards, Philip Holm, Kenneth Larson. That's a very versatile secondary with a lot of guys who could do a lot of the same things and can, roll coverages, fit in the run game, get off the hash, run the middle of the field. He'll play primarily corner, but now we get to see what he's really about. All right. He's got a little dog in him too. I like his physicality. I like his mold. I like what he's made of. Khalid, I'm looking to see if he could take the next step playing in the European League of Football this upcoming season, right? Let's keep this thing going. A guy that, again, maybe not have had a lot of production, but was effective, and that's Kasper Jezowski. Excuse me. Kasper Jezewski. Again, not a lot of production, only 20 catches, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns. But to be honest, Rustloff has had a quarterback problem for the longest time. And it just continued the last season, going through multiple quarterbacks. I think they went through 4 or 5. So I'm interested to see if Wrocław can have stability at the quarterback position, what his production looks like. He's going to also be playing with a receiver group that's more balanced. And, again, you got Darryl Stewart Jr. You got Eric Otender in there. You got Jacob Mazan that's still coming back, right? You got David Brzozowski, DJ Irons. That offense looks dangerous on paper. And this could be the guy we all forget about. And this could be a guy that could maybe make some splashes and maybe, people maybe get the matchups this year in the ELF, all right? So we'll see. But I'm interested to see what Kasper does. I'm interested to see how does he build on this past season, right? And then the last guy I want to talk to you about is Hugo Klages. Hugo, again, played in America at a high D1 level, played for UMass, played for the Rhein Fire last year, 23 tackles, 4 sacks. He had a big game versus Frankfurt. I believe it was 4 tackles, 3 for loss, and 3 sacks. And this is another guy who came on late in the season. Right now he's going to be playing with guys like Destiny Adahidi, right? And, again, very balanced Rhein Fire secondary, very, very veteran Rhein Fire secondary, a lot of continuity. Again, a lot of those guys came back. So we'll see how Hugo continues to improve, and what it looks like this year in the ELF. I'm expecting a big, big season for Hugo. Got his feet wet, got some fast pass rushers on the outside now. How does Hugo follow up his rookie season in the ELF? We'll see. But I'm excited. And those are the names who I want to see take the next step heading into this European League of Football Season 5, right? Locker room. You know how this works. Drop a comment. Who did I miss? Let me know what you guys think of this list, right? Let me know who you're waiting to see take the next step and pan out in the European League football. All right. Subscribe. Appreciate all your follow-up and support. Thank you all for tuning in.